Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now it's time for the new comic book video. Really nice day for books, a nice little stack of Independents, which had some really good titles, and then a smaller stack of DC, and no Marvel this time. And then I do have some vintage books I'm going to show that I know a lot of you enjoy looking at because I've gotten a really good response to it the last two videos. So let's jump right into the books, shall we? We'll start with DC. This is Batman Annual number 5, Origin of Clown Hunter, right there. Detective 1033. Harley Quinn number 3. That was cover B, and then cover A with her kids on the old hyenas right there. Red Hood 52. First appearance right there of a gang. A really nice Red Hood 52B cover right there. Batman Beyond number 50, last issue. Hard to find this in decent shape, so I was lucky to find one. And then one, because I thought the cover was really good. I don't know how the story's going to be. This is Black Adam Endless Winter Special number 1. Cool cover, though. And that was it for DC. So we will now jump into independent books. Some really nice books from Spawn this week. 313, cover A. Cover B with Plague Spawn, right there. Black and white version, Capullo. And then probably in the running for cover of the week would be 313, the regular A cover right there. It's a really nice cover right there. That was selling really well, that cover. Gideon Falls number 27. This was a $7.99 book, but it was really thick. This is the last issue of Gideon Falls, which is too bad because I enjoyed the story, and I do know they're doing something on television, so we will see where it goes. But a really good storyline. Sad to see it end. Gideon Falls number 27. Sea of Sorrows number 2. This is IDW, yeah. Another storyline that I'm enjoying, Grendel, Kentucky, number 404, last issue. So 3 last issues this week. I am looking forward to reading this one here, seeing where it goes. Ice Cream Man, I believe this is number 22. Number 22. Kind of a Christmas, if you remember these as a kid, or if you had that, if you celebrate Christmas, the old calendar, and then you open up the day and there's a piece of chocolate in there. Pretty cool concept right there for December. And then a bloody ice cream right there. Hottest book out, Something's Killing the Children, number 13. And then they had issued an announcement that Something Is Killing the Children number 12 was supposed to be a book that gets destroyed or sent back to the distributor because there was an issue inside with damages inside the book. So they resent the books out. Now, I went through my copies of Something's Killing the Children, and I didn't find anything wrong with mine. But they sent these back out to the shop. This is just the regular blank variant of number 12. This was the replacements for the damages that they sent out. And these are free at my shop because I had purchased Something Is Killing the Children when it came out previously. And they just sent the replacements out. My shop didn't charge for them. If your shop is charging for them, they're doing it wrong because I do not believe that the shops had to pay for these. That it was just a replacement sent out by the distributor on that. And so I appreciate it. So thank you, Brian, Cosmic Comics, for giving me my 3 free copies because I always buy Something is Killing the Children. So thank you for that. That was a nice touch. Some shops are charging, but if they are, I don't think they're supposed to. So that's just me. A book that I'm kind of looking forward to. This is from Vault Comics. This is The Picture of Everything Else. Cover A. And then a really cool looking cover B right there. Cover purchase only, Patriotica #3 from Antarctic Press. They had another version that was a little bit more accentuated, you know, physically, I should say. But that was a $10 book, and I am not in the position to pay for $10 books right now, so I got the $3.99 cover. Very happy with that. And then a book that came out that I was really excited about, read the first issue, liked the first issue. This is from Behemoth Comics, #2, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, cover A. Cover B. Really, really cool right there. You know, for the most part, they came in pretty decent shape. I'm not going to complain about it. There was another book that was coming out today that I, for some reason, didn't see when I was looking through the previews, because I definitely would have ordered it. It is a book called Murder Hobo from, I believe, Scout Comics. And I wanted that book so bad, but I couldn't find one. So I may have to go secondary market, because anything called Murder Hobo, I am all over. So real quick, I wasn't going to do anything like this, but there was a video on YouTube of an individual, and I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but he was doing a CGC PGX comparison as it relates to grades on the books. So he had a book that was graded by PGX. It was, I believe it was a Spider-Man book, a really nice Spider-Man book that was graded a 6.0. He went through this whole thing about how it wasn't going to come back a 6.0 because you can see the damages on the book, and, you know, PGX doesn't do a good job of this, and, you know, he's going to send it to CGC and see what happens with the book. So he sends the book into CGC, time-lapse, whatever. He shows the book when it comes in, pulls it out of the box, and it came back a 6.0, same grade as PGX. And so he's saying, okay, you know, he did 2 books, and the second book was a PGX 5.0, and he sent that in to CGC, and it was a 4.5. So, I mean, it's one of those things where he's like, you know, well, you know, I'm going to get it pressed and cleaned, and you're getting it pressed and cleaned, you're spending the money, and you're getting the same grade, basically. Now, I understand there is a difference of pricing as it relates from, you know, CGC to PGX to CBCS on the tiers based off of their grading standards. But what I found funny is this individual sends, I think it's like Simply Gary Comics, I want the red hair. Again, I like his videos. This is not a bash on him, but he sends so many books into CGC. This was like a CGC commercial. CGC doesn't need anybody to do a commercial for him and tell him how great they are, because quite frankly, they're not great. You're complaining about PGX's grading standards, about the way you're looking at the book inside their case. CGC has been notorious for overgrading key books and just giving really, really bad grades. So, I mean, again, CGC has got to the point where they're the king of the mountain as it relates to the way viewers or the way collectors see them, that they can't do anything wrong. And so they don't care about their grading standards. They're sucking up all that money just to get your dollar and say, we'll give you whatever grade we want, and we'll give it a high grade if you're sending a bunch of books in, because you can't tell me Joe Schmo, who send in, you know, 5 books in a year to CGC to get graded because that's what he can afford, is getting the same grading standards of a collector who's sending 100 books a month in. You know that guy's getting a little bit better service. He's getting a little bit looser grades, especially when it comes to high keys. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. I just thought it was kind of funny watching this video, the guy bad-mouthing the other grading company, when CGC has been grading books horribly for the last 3 to 4 years. And the sad thing is, a lot of people see it, and yet they still send the books in, because there's so many people out there who will just snap up anything CGC and just believe that that's the grade. So there's that. So I, you know, take a step back now from that. It was just something that I wanted to get off my chest, because again, you know, don't badmouth other companies when CGC certainly hasn't been the, you know, the pillar of right grading and proper grading for a long time. So there was that. Now, to get to something that everybody likes, vintage books. Everybody loves vintage books. Let me move these here. What this is these are books that I have bagged and boarded in halfback and Mylar. I just threw them in a box. There is no, you know, general order of that. These are just books that I've had. And again, I have boxes all over the place of just books and books and books. And so what am I going to do? So let's take a look at some books. Again, no particular order, but there's going to be some really nice books here. So the first book we're going to show, Amazing Spider-Man number 110 from 1972. This is a Romita cover and art, and it is a Stan Lee story. Right there, really nice looking book. Some of these are not in the highest condition grades because, quite frankly, some of these older books are real hard to find in high grade, so you have to get what you can get when you get the opportunity to purchase them at a really good price. Here is a good example of that. Star Spangled War Stories. This is number 87 from 1959. This is a 3.5, and this is a cover with Mademoiselle Marie on the cover right there. Really nice looking book. You can see up there, you know, the Nazi symbol. They used a lot of that in the 40s, 50s, you know, even through the 70s where, you know, the war comics would show that, you know, Sergeant Rock, Sergeant Fury, Weird War were real popular with using a lot of the symbolism of Nazis in World War II. Next book up, really nice high grade book of The Flash, number 162. There you go right there. Aquaman number 2 from 1962. This is Nick Cardy, cover and art. Love Nick Cardy. We talk about him all the time. Very underrated as far as I'm concerned, but just has some really, really nice covers. Aquaman number 2 from 1962. I graded that a 4.0. It's probably higher than that, but you know how I am with my grading. I am not CGC. Next up, Fighting Forces number 57 from 1960, also graded a 4.0. Talking about the Germans, there is the Japanese war flag, the rising sun flag right there. There's that. So there. One of my all-time favorite covers. This is just a little bit upper mid-grade. 7.0 is what I graded it. This is a Steranko cover art and story. It's a triple threat with him. This is Captain America 113. Absolutely love that cover right there. Always have. Sorry about the glare from the sun. There's that there. Next up, from 1964, this is Flash 146 5.0. Again, you start getting these books from the 50s, early 60s. You're going to want to do everything you can to protect them. Halfback is how you would protect a lot of these books and just slow up the aging process, which ultimately is going to happen regardless of what you do. Let me fix this real quick. Next up, from 1958, a 4.0, Star Spangled War Stories, number 66. I love these old, you know, covers with, you know, you see with the machine gun shooting at the plane. You can see not really what, it's kind of a pseudo-Japanese symbol up there on the wing, but it isn't. So there was that there. And we will do a few more books here. Next up, a really nice mid-high grade copy, Detective Comics number 329. Beautiful color on that. That color just absolutely pops. I graded this a 7.0. From 1964, 5.0, Action Comics 314. Like the way Superman's got the little flash wings on his head right there. There is that there. Speaking of Flash, from 1965, this would be a much higher grade. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. If you can see that spine there, I graded it a 4.5 simply because the centerfold is detached at the lower staple. The lower staple popped on the centerfold. Therefore, it is a 4.5. if the staple was not detached, this is probably an 8.5. But unfortunately, a book that is detached, even one page in the centerfold, lowers this down to a 4.5, and that's what it is. If you're honest with your grading, people always ask me, and if you don't believe me, there it is. 4.5 centerfold detached lower staple, which is heartbreaking because it's a beautiful book. From 1951, Looney Tunes number 118, Bugs and Porky action right there. Some of these are much lower grade, but they are very difficult to find in any grade and go for a tremendous premium on this one here. This is Tales of Horror number 12 from 1954. Graded this a 1.8. 1.8, which is a good minus. But still a wicked looking cover right there. And I will always buy these in that condition simply because, unfortunately, that's what you're finding, and you're still paying overbook for them because of the difficulty in trying to find that. Next up, Millie the Model number 127. My buddy Rudy had his eyes all over this one when he saw it. Stan Lee's Story. This is from 1965. Really, really nice book right there. Again, hard books to find because girls didn't really take care of these books. They didn't sell a whole lot of them, and so they're hard to find in upper grade condition. So that's a really good premium book right there. Next up, really, really nice book from 1945. This is Boy Comics number 24. Now, you're going to see some stickers on some of these because I had these showing in a local shop just for people to look at them in a case because you don't see these books every day. This is graded a 5.0. And this is a concentration camp story. There's that right there. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. You can kind of see right here one little pop right there, but everything else, for the most part, for a book from 1945, it's a beautiful cover book. Really, really nice. How about if we just keep going with another little stack, huh? Here's another book that from 1952, I graded this a 3.0, but this is one of my all-time favorite covers. You'll see it. This is Adventures into the Unknown. Oop, come on. This is Adventures into the Unknown number 27. Love that cover. Love that cover. That's a great looking cover. Sorry about that, the books were falling. Great cover right there. Another book from 1951. This is issue number 1, graded a 3.0 of Big Town, 52-page giant right there. It says, boys, we're going to get out the extra, even if there's a killer loose in the city room. Well, guess what? There's a killer loose in the city room. Big Town, number 1 from 1951. Really nice pre-code right there. And again, even for a 3.0, it's really nice. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of the issues there, but eye appeal, when they talk about eye appeal, this has beautiful eye appeal right here. The Flash, number 161, 7.0 from 1966. Just a fun book, but it was a number 1 issue. This is from 1963. This is Duke of the Canine Patrol. But again, another book that has really, really nice eye appeal, really nice red-looking cover right there. I know I've shown this one in the past, but still, beautiful book, even in a lower grade. So here's that. This is Web of Mystery. I didn't write the year on the back of this, but this is from Ace Comics. And again, not a very high grade, but just a really cool looking cover right there. What happened here? Really cool looking cover right there. Young girl looking in the mirror, seeing an old woman. From 1948, I rated this a good plus, 2.5. This is Pretty Boy Floyd, On the Spot. Really cool, you know, bondage cover right there, damsel in distress. Next up, I know I've shown this one as well. This is from 1954. This is Teenage Romance. This is number, 38, excuse me. This is in horrible condition. It's probably one of the worst condition books that I own. But you don't see this book. This is not a book that you find, and you get a premium for it regardless of the condition. This is Teenage Romances, number 38. This is what is considered a pseudo rape cover. or a suggestive cover, like it states in the overstreet. This is, she's saying, there's no room back here, Mac. Go curl up in the front seat and keep the headlights on. But we're stalled here for the night, so let's make the best of it. And someone's going into the back seat to get himself a little bit of that young lady. So there was that again. This book has tons of issues, but you know what? I will always buy it if I find it, regardless. I got this for, you know, a price that I thought was very fair since you don't see a lot of it, so I was very happy with that. And the last book I'm going to show is from 1941, and it's one of the oldest books that I own. And it has really nice off-white tan pages, but there is some staining on the back cover, and there's some staining on some of the back interior pages. But again, a book that you don't see all the time. I graded it a 3.0, and this is Green Mask number 5, right there. Really, really cool looking book. And again, you don't see that a lot. You don't see this a lot. So I grabbed this and I'm very happy with it, and I'm very happy even though it has some staining. It's from 1941. What books from 1941 aren't going to have some issues? So there was that. So those are all the books that I'm going to show today. We're going over 20 minutes on the video, so I want to keep it going. So I hope you enjoyed that. These are just some really great books. And then I have another stack from the same box that I'm going to show in the next video, or I might do another video you know, of just some of the older books, because I know how much everybody likes that. So again, I want to thank everybody who's a subscriber, and if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and just wait for the new videos to come out. You can hit the little bell to get notifications when it happens. But I appreciate everybody who watches, everybody who sends me positive feedback, and so that's pretty much all we have today. So I hope you liked the video, but as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great day. Have a very safe, happy Christmas, and we'll see you soon.